everyone, I'm Carly. It's Thursday and this is Zoo to You Virtual Safari. I'm using my indoor voice right now, even though we are outside in front of our black rhino Rudy's yard. I'm gonna let a couple people join up here before we get started. Hi there, I see we've got 4, now 6. So we've got some people joining us. I'm sure I'll see people like Abby very soon, but we're kind of keeping quiet because Rudy is asleep in his yard right now. And with the help of Dave, we're gonna wake him up and we're gonna bring him over to the demo yard so we can get closer to him, give him a little spa day, some footwork, some vaccinations. So we're really gonna pamper Rudy today. We're gonna get closer to him, but we didn't wanna wake him up too soon. So, hi Randy, I'm so excited. You get excited, we're excited too. So Dave is gonna kind of wake Rudy up now, and we're gonna watch that and bring him over. So, hi everyone.
Hey, Mr. Rudy. Hey, buddy. Can you wake up? Good boy. Come on, handsome. Let's go, Rudy. Come on, buddy. Come over here to Caitlin. Come on, Rude. Good boy.
Hi Ashley, hi Matt, you're watching from Iowa, thank you.
There
Hi Chris.
Come on, buddy.
Oh, I know all about you, Chris. You are Tobias's #1 fan. You sent us some awesome pictures of him when he first arrived. Hi to Ollie and Theo in Denver. Hi to Randy. Hi Abby, I knew you'd comment.
Rudy. Come on, buddy.
So this just speaks to that relationship that our keepers have with our animals. I could have never gotten Rudy to wake up and follow me over to another yard. So he just loves Dave and he knows he is in for something special if he wakes up and follows Dave. So there's Rudy, our black rhino. He's a critically endangered species and we're so happy he's with us here. Hi Whitney, yeah, yay Rudy. He is willingly going over to this yard because we are gonna have some special treats for him. So you're kind of walking with me. Oh my gosh, this is a side note, but we have little goslings, everyone. Do you see them over there? So cute. Hi, Rainy. Yep, Rudy. Rudy's like, I'm not sure about waking up, but he's doing it. He's kind of like me. He's kind of like zombie when he first gets up. Oh, yes, Jennifer, we love Rudy and we love Dave, and we love how much Dave and Caitlin love Rudy. Hi, Katie. I hope you can come down from Montana as well. So, quick peek past some art that you'll see once we reopen. We're heading over to a smaller area. I let Dave and Rudy catch up. All right, yes, Rudy is a very nice rhino. Thank you, Christina, for hopping in and answering some questions already. Rudy is 2,909 pounds. So look how close we're getting up with Rudy right now. That's Caitlin. She's been on a couple of our lives as well, and you all know Dave. So we've already got some questions coming in. Violet says he is so large. Is he full grown?
He is full grown. He's 26 years old. He's already fathered some baby rhinos at Oklahoma City Zoo. Is where we got him from. And Kansas City was where he was part of the SSP, which is the Species Survival Plan. So, and then he was born in Wichita at Sedgwick County Zoo. So this is his 4th zoo. So Caitlin is targeting him and just got him to open there. So, and he just got up from his nap. So he's getting all this wonderful stuff. Included in here are some phosphorus pills. So we stuff banana with these for his health. He's a little bit low on phosphorus, so he gets 25 of these every day. And we make them into a nice little treat for him. So Caitlin's going to be working with him right here, and we're just going to show you what a spa day might look like for a black rhino. So we wanted to show you how we work with him. So she's getting him to line up into these good positions, and that would allow us to check his whole body condition out. So Rudy is used to us touching him all over. So we can touch his ears, touch his head, touch his mouth, touch his feet. We do all of his footwork. So we file on his nails and trim them and work on that for him. And we put some mud pack on his back and on his ears. You can see this pinkish color. And it keeps bugs and stuff off of him. So we're gonna just do a little bit of everything with him today. First off, I wanted to show you guys how we do vaccinations. So if we wanted to give him a vaccine, Caitlin would keep him in place here, feeding him some honeydew, bananas, lettuce, and all we would do is clean off a spot on his neck, right in this neck muscle. So this is an alcohol swab. And to train him, we just make a nice clean spot, and I'll just use my key to show. And we would just, I would tell Caitlin, poke, and then she gives him a treat.
And look how well he handled that, because he's used to it. He is been conditioned to kind of, you know, prepare for that. He hears the poke, he kind of senses the alcohol, and then he feels the key.
Poke.
And then he'll get a treat for being so good and staying right there during the poke.
That is the first thing we trained him when he got here. We didn't have to dart him to knock him down to check his health out, because we needed to clean his teeth. And so we trained him for that the first couple weeks he was here. And then we got to give him a full workover medically with our veterinarian team. So that's how we give vaccinations.
Very cool. Well, can we answer some questions?
Sure.
Everett's wondering, he can hear some of that construction noise, and Rudy is right by the vet hospital construction site. Does the construction noise bother him?
Actually, he's gotten so used to it now that Rudy tends to go over and watch construction. As long as it's not really loud, and we'll bring him inside if there's anything really new and really loud going on. But since that's over by penguins, it doesn't really bother him too much. And he will go and watch all these guys work. So I think he's as interested in the workers and the construction going on as they are in him.
Michelle wants to know, what do you think his favorite food is?
You know, he really loves carrots and apples. I think those are some of his favorites. He also really likes that honeydew that Caitlin has in there as well. So not so much the celery. Yeah, those are carrots. Sometimes if you give him a scatter, he will go and he'll eat all the carrots up first. So that's a real favorite treat.
Very fun. And we'll definitely try to speak over some of that construction happening. We're trying to get ready for reopen here, so it's a bit louder than it has been in a while. Hi, Danny. What you saw Dave poke him with was a key. So that was just sort of a training for what would be a vaccination. Michelle says, I like apples too. She wants to know how often we do this training.
We'll do this a few times a week, just to keep him updated on everything. We need to weigh him the end of this month, so we'll get him on a scale. We need to do his front feet are due by the end of May. So we'll trim those nails back. We can nipper them. We can file them with a rasp. He's already had his back feet done. And we'll just probably do something different every day with this animal. We might clean his ears and do a mud pack one day. We might do a bath and soap and scrub him. And we may draw blood. And if we draw blood on the animal, if you didn't see phlebotomy, this is where we would draw blood from Rudy. This inside of this leg vein right here. You can see this vein coming up. Probably a lot better than you could inside a few months ago. So this is where we would draw blood from Rudy. And he is so good that we can take like a liter of blood from him for his iron storage issues. We can draw a lot of blood from him if we need to with our vet team. And he'll stand still for like 20 minutes, which is pretty awesome.
Very cool. Yeah, that's a really fun one if you want to check that out on our YouTube channel. Let's see, we've got a lot of questions. Tanasia wants to know, at 26, is Rudy old for a black rhino? Young, middle-aged?
He is older for a black rhino. They'll usually live into their 20s, maybe 30 as an average. So he's getting on up there, and since he's already been a dad, he's kind of a grandpa rhino.
And that's why he doesn't have a breeding recommendation anymore. He is done giving his contribution to the SSP, so he is fine here. He does not need a mate or a companion. He's pretty solitary, isn't he?
Very, very solitary. He likes it being alone. If he had another black rhino here, it would actually be kind of stressful.
Yeah. Rory is 9. He wants to know what his skin feels like.
His skin kind of differs. Right around his ear in here is really, really soft. Really soft leather, kind of like a leather handbag or a purse. And then up here it gets really hard and taut, more like a tire. So it feels almost like a mountain bike tire. But really soft in here, really soft under his eyes in here. Good boy.
What do you think his best sense is?
I think his best sense is his hearing. You will watch his ears going around everywhere listening. In Africa where he lives, he might be in some scrubland. His sight isn't very good. His just doesn't have that good of vision. Rhinos don't. But his sense of smell is good, and his hearing is very acute. So if you're around the zoo, you might watch him track you with his ears. He might stay laying down, but he's always listening.
Abby says, does he recognize different keepers, and does he have a favorite?
Why do people always ask that?
People always wonder. I think because they want to think they could have this type of relationship with Rudy if they tried hard enough.
You know, he knows all the keepers. He knows our voices. Luckily, me and Caitlin are both from North Carolina, so we have the same hillbilly twang. So Rudy knows his keepers and knows when we call to him. And you got to see, that's why it was so special for us to wake him up. When we call him and clap, he comes over to get this spa treatment. So I was also going to show you guys, to keep the flies off of him, we use some of this clay, and we will put it around some of the places that the flies really like around his ears and stuff.
Getting a little mud mask.
Yeah, a little mud mask, part of his spa work. And you can see, even though that's cool on him, that is going to protect him. And Caitlin just keeps feeding him and keeps him right here for me. And you can see she actually did this yesterday for him too, so he's already got a lot of this pink coloration on him. And when you put some on his back after a bath, you can do this to get him going. And you also can rub this stuff all over him, and maybe even take a brush and brush it in. But so you see, this is like a bug repellent and a sunscreen for Rudy.
I want to say hi to Jake and Disa. I know they are two people who love Rudy so much. So we're happy to kind of bring him to the people who don't get to see him every day. A lot of people asking sort of, what is Rudy like for enrichment? Is he a playful rhino?
He's very playful. He loves his toys that you can put food in. He will knock them around. It's kind of like a rhino piñata. The more he knocks them, the more apples and monkey chow and grain will come out. So those are some fun toys for him. He has a little Smurf cube out there right now that we actually filled up with water. So you can splash around with that. I don't know if you can see it from there, but that's got water in it. He's got a couple other toys out in the yard, a boomer ball, and he got his mud wallow filled today. So hopefully on good days, me and Caitlin don't have to do this. He will get himself all muddy, and we won't even have to do this part of our job.
Jake is wondering if the shade structure is here yet. Nope, not quite yet, but Rudy still next week, he still loves hanging out in his newly redesigned yard. He got a little extreme home makeover in the past couple months, and he's really enjoying it. So people are asking, we're putting this mud on, is that because Rudy can get sunburned, or is that more for bug protection and cooling?
It's a little bit of both. It does the cooling and the bug protection, but it also will protect him from this Denver sun as well. So we'll put all this on here as well to protect him from all of these things. His skin is peeling a little bit, so we can actually debride him with a brush inside. He has a steel brush that you can kind of get all this stuff off of. And then this mud just really protects him from everything. We have some pretty big horseflies here that like to land on Rudy, and they will bite him sometimes. And you can see the blood trickling down. So if he stands really still, we can sometimes get a horsefly and get it off of him. So because he knows that we're all about making him comfortable and taking care of all of his needs here. So Caitlin might get a Q-tip, some stuff, Kleenex, a paper towel, and clean his ears one day. We'll give him a soap bath. He lets us soap and scrub him, so we can make him really pretty and clean. And in the winter, if it's snowy outside, we will actually give him a mineral oil bath. Ooh. And his skin will soak up that mineral oil and make him all nice and soft, because animals here at the zoo can get dried out skin just like we can over the winter.
Oh, Rudy is pampered. Hi, Jim. Rudy was born at the Wichita Zoo, you said?
Yep.
So he has lived in a couple different zoos, and we just have
Sedgwick County Zoo.
Sedgwick County Zoo. So he is now kind of in his retirement twilight phase with us, and we're really enjoying him. Let's see. Oh, we're going to do the other side. I'm going to back up while they kind of rotate him.
And then I'll put some mud on his other ear, and a little bit we'll do some fly spray. And then Carly, if you want to give him some loving,
Yeah.
you can rub all over Rudy and get kind of a selfie of you giving him, because
that'd
he's
be
really
fun.
missed this, meeting people with the zoo closed. He loves the attention, and our staff actually asked to meet Rudy with some of their family. And so we do encounters here with the zoo with him, and we also do staff tours with him as well.
So let's see. Andrea wants to know, are rhinos only aggressive when protecting their young, or are they aggressive at all? And what do they use their horns for?
Rhinos can be very aggressive all the time. They're very endangered, and a lot of times rhinos are getting poached in the wild, so they really don't like people around in some of their areas. They don't see very well, so their first sometimes decision is to charge and chuff and try to bluff and make people go away. So they can be super aggressive. They use those horns a lot for protection from lions, from hyenas, and to also fight other rhinos. If a male like Rudy wanted to have a date with a female, he might have to fight another male off and prove himself, and then get to be a boyfriend. So that's kind of what they use their horns for. And the African rhinos, both of them are two-horned rhinos.
Yes, and Abby, no, he has not seen Bandu or Tenzing or Juna. Their habitats are pretty far away, and they are different species. And you'll notice Rudy's horn is much longer and pointed than our greater one horns, because he really actually does use that for protection, as opposed to the greater one horns that usually use their incisors, their teeth more, because their horns are shorter. Edie says she has met Rudy. He's such a good boy. Emmeline is 6. She wants to know if Rudy's more active during the day or night.
Well, actually, he's more active at night, and we're trying to switch that around a little bit and get him more active in the day for everybody. But he likes to run around at night in his exhibit. He likes to play with his toys at night when it's cooler, and oftentimes he will nap during the day when it's warmer. So the best time to see Rudy is in the early morning hours after the zoo opens, and in the afternoon hours, like now, before the zoo closes. So these are the times to really get some good Rudy time.
I think his night keeper Dee says keeping him up too late to play with it. She has too much fun. Let's see. Tennessee wants to know, do they sit in the mud to cool down in the wild? Would they find mud wallows?
They do. They will get in the mud and wallow. They'll get in the water and the shallows. They will dust bathe, but they like to be dirty, and they oftentimes take on the color of their soil. So if there's a red clay that they live in, they'll be more of this reddish color. If it's gray or brown, they'll take on the color of the mud, just like elephants will, because they really like to take all that soil in. It keeps them cool and keeps those bugs off. And, you know, in Africa has got some really stingy bugs too, the tsetse flies and some of the bees and stuff. It's really nice to keep them off. So Carly, if you want to, you can reach right in here through these cables and just give him some loving.
Best day ever.
There you go. He loved it.
Aww. Well,
He's
it's
a
so
good
like
boy.
taut and thick.
Mm-hmm.
He's so sweet.
Look at that clay. It's already drying on
Yep,
there.
he's
forming
gonna
a
have
nice
sort of a-
protective shell.
It's gonna have sort of like a pink covering.
Yeah, looks like Caitlin's peanut M&Ms. That hard coating.
Nate wants to know how much they eat in a day. How many pounds of food?
Rudy gets 21 pounds of browse. He gets 21 pounds of grain. He also gets about 25 pounds of grass hay and chopped up produce. So you're looking at this animal maybe getting 75 pounds of food every day. So he eats a lot.
Very cool. Josh, we just went over this. These are different species. They would never even interact in the wild, because Rudy's from Africa and our greater one horns are from Asia. So they don't share a space, then they don't see each other. So, but I'm sure, you know, if he could, Rudy would be very happy for Tenzing.
Funny story though, when we couldn't get him out of the barn when he first got here, he was a little bit nervous about his new surroundings, and we put some of the urine from Tenzing out here, and he smelled another female rhino, and he came out of the barn to check it out. So we actually used Tenzing to lure him out of the barn and show him that this place wasn't such a bad place. So that was kind of fun.
Very, very cool. So sometimes people come and they comment they feel like Rudy's very lean. But is he, you know, the appropriate size and weight for him?
He is. Our nutritionist said he is the best looking black rhino he's ever worked with. And he is about 3,000 pounds. And when we got him to that level, we have leveled off on his weight gain. And our nutritionist, our vets, and our staff feel 3,000 pounds is the perfect weight for him. You want him to look like he's got some muscle and some fat on him, but you don't want him to be overweight. So if you can see some ribs, see some spine, see some hip, that is normal and healthy. You don't want him to be too scrawny, and you don't want him to be too chubby. And that way he will live the best, longest zoo life with us.
Yeah, a lot of animals sometimes present like they're a little bit leaner, and as people, we're like, oh, he shouldn't be seeing that. But that is totally normal. He carries a lot more of his weight in the bottom, in his belly.
Yeah.
Also, each species has their own body condition score chart, as well as all different species of dogs. So, like if you go to the vet, you'll see body condition scores that are based on particular species. So that's the same with rhinos. And so this body condition score, he's a perfect score of 4, we learned. So all body condition scores, the scoring and the chart looks different depending on the species. So
Getting real up close with that prehensile lip there. And his tongue and his mouth, so cool.
Yep.
How many teeth does he have?
He has 24.
24
He has
teeth.
6 molars top and bottom on both sides. And the first set are really sharp, and they're like pruning shears because he's a browser. So he'll use that lip to grab a branch, and he'll bring it into his mouth and just snip that branch off. And we'll show you that in just a second.
There's that
so
word
Caitlin's
again.
getting him to open, and so we can see his teeth and see his mouth a little bit better.
Sort of,
He kinda
Caitlin
hides
said.
him with his tongue. But Caitlin, if you would, line him up again. I'm going to do some fly spray and show you guys if we don't do mud on some days, we might do fly spray. And so, because you can see a few flies around that might bite him. And so he's trained for this as well. So we can get some.
Yeah, you can see those flies on his leg.
Yeah,
Christina's from York, England, and she says,
Wow.
how fast can they run?
These guys can go about 25 or 30 miles an hour.
Very fast.
fast.
Don't try to outrun one of these. Let's see.
If you have to run from a rhino, whenever I've been in the wilds of Africa or Asia, they tell you to make quick turns and try to get up in a tree.
Oh,
So don't run in a straight line, but try to hide behind something and zigzag. Because they can't
zigzag.
turn as fast as we can.
Like
So,
Rickon should have in Game of Thrones. If you know what I'm talking about, if you know, you know. I had a
now
good
we've got
question
all
here.
of his legs just coated in fly spray. So this is part of his daily routine. Just showed a little bit of everything, and me and Caitlin like to just mix it up for him.
Fun. Christina says, you mentioned he's been at several zoos. How long has he been at Denver Zoo?
He has been here over 3 years. He was here 3 years in February.
3 years in February. So he became a fan favorite very fast. So we're going to watch.
See if he's going to take some browse. He, of course, likes all the produce that Caitlin has better in that bucket. But we're going to see if he'll take a little bit of this ficus browse. And this is what a lot of rhinos would eat in the wild. So we'll see if he'll use that lip and show you exactly what that lip is for. There he goes. Pulling that fig leaf, all of that ficus right into his mouth and makes it disappear. He's like a magician.
He really is.
There he goes.
Hi, Noah and Mia. Yes, Genevieve, that spray is safe for Rudy. We'd never give him anything that wasn't. Just helps keep those flies away. Amber wants to know, in the wild, do rhinos fight lions?
They would if a lion tried to take a rhino or tried to take a baby rhino. They would definitely fight lions off. So, and it depends on if lions start it. I don't think rhinos would go looking for the fight, but they would actually help finish it.
Melissa's wondering how long he'll sleep, whether that's overnight or in naps.
He naps. He takes little naps throughout the day, and so he won't sleep like a big 7 or 8 hours at night, but he'll sleep several hours through naps throughout a 24-hour span.
Nate has been observing that we've been feeding him a lot of fruits and leafy greens. Is he an omnivore, herbivore, or is he opportunistic?
He's actually completely vegetarian.
He's a vegetarian.
He is an herbivore. Doesn't eat any meat. And that's why the goslings and the geese and the rabbits and squirrels, all sometimes foxes, all feel like this is a nice mixed species exhibit. So they'll come visit Rudy and not have to worry about it. Unlike his neighbor Mahali, hippos can be omnivorous and will occasionally take meat. Rhinos are all veggie, so Caitlin's just giving him big mouthfuls of salad now.
He's a better eater than me. Whitney's wondering, did Rudy shape his horn? We talked a lot about for our greater one horns, they can shape them. Does Rudy shape his?
He does.
The second is a really kind of odd shape.
You can see where he's been rubbing this horn on the cables.
Oh.
And so he does
kinda
all that himself, and this is all fresh. He's maybe last night he rubbed this off on something. That's why it's so white. So he does that all himself.
And it looks so handsome. He knows exactly what he's doing. He doesn't need the salons to reopen. He's got his own
I
yard.
knew you were coming today.
Grayson says hello to Dave. A lot of Dave fans on here and a lot of Caitlin fans. So do you have any more questions? And we might do our kind of last call here. This one has gone by so quickly because we're having so much fun with Rudy, Caitlin, and Dave. So he's a browser. So yesterday we saw zebras and they are grazers. So just kind of remember that kind of differentiation. Browsers, branch, grazers, grass, ground. Can Rudy reach, or is he mostly getting that brush and bushes that are lower to the ground?
Lower to the ground. He would do the middle brush, and where a giraffe would take all the taller stuff, he would get all the stuff that's closer to him.
He could put in a little effort right now, but it's kind of like they're filling different niches in the same habitat so that they all are not competing for the same source of food.
All right. Jackie says, happy belated birthday, Dave. Yes, Dave recently celebrated a birthday. So happy
Thank
birthday
you.
to Dave. Logan says, would he spend time hanging out with other animals in the wild?
These guys would hang out, especially around water holes or mud wallows. They would hang out with other herbivores. They could be in close proximity to elephants, to hippos, to bigger hoofstock, eland, kudu, giraffe. So these guys would, I've seen lots of videos of them and seen them in the wild being around other animals, impala, and being good neighbors.
Oh, they're good neighbors. Oh, he agrees with that.
You can get up closer for the end if you'd like.
All right, let's get up close here. Oh, yeah, show us that mouth. Yep, don't eat the phone. Nope. No. Oh, look at the inside of a black rhino's mouth. Very cool. There's his nose. Oh, you got some bugs, Rudy.
We also pick his boogers. We do everything for him.
Hates it.
Oh God. That is love right there. I'm not gonna do that. Rudy and I are not on that level yet. Let's see. How big can a rhino herd be? Rory's wondering.
Well, these guys won't be in herds. They're solitary. So the most I've ever seen in the wild, close together, was 3. It was a male, a female, and the female's young. And the calf was old enough to where the mom was getting bred back by the bull. So now you see Rudy, even though the food is gone, he comes around and still wants some attention. So he comes in and makes sure that he gives us plenty of canvas to rub on. But white rhinos do run in herds, the other African rhino, and I've seen as many as 12 over in Africa together in a herd. They're more social, but black rhinos, like we talked about, are very independent and very solitary.
Hi,
So
Cynthia.
this is a perfect setup for him.
Yeah, they do have teeth. They have 24, 6 on top and bottom and each side, if I'm remembering that correctly, Dave.
That's right.
And let's quickly wrap up with the conservation status of these guys and where they stand and how we can help.
Their numbers have actually increased, which has been great news. They got down the last few years as low as 4,700 left in the wild, but right now their numbers are around 5,500. So they're actually ticking back up, and poaching has gone down a little bit. But with this latest pandemic, there has been an upswing in poaching in some of the national parks, sadly. But their numbers are increasing. But to only have 5,000 plus animals in the wild is very sad. So rhinos, as a big mega herbivore, they're some of the most endangered species that we have on the planet. Sumatran rhinos, maybe only 80, Javan rhinos maybe only 60. And there is a white rhino, the northern white rhino, that there are only 2 left, and they're both girls, sadly. So these guys are really in some dire straits. And they need as much love as the zoo and the community can afford to give them, just like Caitlin.
Yes.
The best part of my job.
So the more you learn about Rudy, the more we hope you'll be inspired to find ways you can support rhino conservation in the wild. Our recent rhino naming contest to name Juna, we donated $5,000 of those donations to the International Rhino Fund, which is doing just that. So thank you all for that. And then a question about how he deals with Colorado winters.
We actually let him run around out in the snow as long as we get this shoveled out here so he doesn't step on this concrete and fall on ice or snow. If we get this shoveled and salted, he can run around and play in the snow and it doesn't bother him. We'll give him access. A lot of our big guys really like some snow time. So we don't have that bad of weather, so there are very few days that we have to keep Rudy locked inside for his own benefit.
But he does have a nice heated indoor space that he can go to. Aaron, we'd love to give Rudy a whole bear hug, but I think it might take all 3 of us to reach all the way around him. So that's not going to be possible. But he loves the massages. Thank you all for the questions. Thank you, Dave and Caitlin, for setting up a nice spa day that I could join and bring virtual safari to everyone with Rudy. Thanks, Becky. We really appreciate it. Hope you all enjoyed your little peek at Rudy. He's definitely having a great day here. It's great weather. He gets to lie in the shade. He'll probably go right back to that spot, you think? Lay down?
Yeah, he might go eat some hay. Usually he naps and then has an afternoon snack. So even though he did get a lot of food just now, he's gonna probably go eat a little bit of hay.
Aww.
We might do a mister with him since it's a little bit warmer this afternoon. So.
Well, everyone say bye to Rudy. This was it for our Thursday virtual safari. Again, happy belated birthday to Dave. Thank you so much, Caitlin. And thanks for being such a good sport, Rudy. We really appreciate it. Thanks for letting me give you some rubbies and massages.
I'm
so
finally 21.
All right, everyone, have a great one. We'll see you back here tomorrow.